Welcome to the work week. Boo. That's Monday.
It's Monday. We're here to make it a little brighter.
I agree. The Curt and Jen podcast. Thank you for listening. Thank you for viewing. And thank you for liking or following or what's the other thing?
Liking, following, loving, commenting, subscribing.
Yes, all the things.
Happy National Cocktail Day.
It is National Cocktail Day. You wanted to send a shout out to who?
Here's to our friend Carrie, who likes to be a mixologist. Mm-hmm. Our friend Cam, who's our spiritual advisor at Crowbar. And all the other bartenders in the world that love doing their craft and make great craft cocktails.
Thank you.
Have a cocktail today.
We appreciate your service. Today on the show, weight loss hacks and how to keep eggs fresh longer. Ooh.
That's another hack, yeah.
2 hacks.
With egg prices so high, what will the White House do about the annual egg roll?
That's an interesting story.
Serve egg rolls?
Do you swear when you stub your toe or otherwise injure yourself?
Yes.
How about unfavorable parenting takes that work? That was our question of the weekend from Friday.
Yeah. The Earth's population and what's happening with it, and Elton John's advice to young musicians, plus so much more.
Here we go. All right.
I have to start with a correction.
We have a correction to say, yes.
It was all me, Curt Cruz.
What do you got?
So this is how the correction came about. I was on the phone with our friend Mario yesterday, and he's like, I think I'm gonna go try to hit the climate pledge and see one of the NCAA games. And I'm like, oh yeah, on the big screen? He's like, no. He's like, I'm like, how much are tickets anyway? He's like, they're like $300. I'm like, to watch a game on TV?
That's because we did the story about the watch parties that were coming up at Climate Pledge Arena, and we overlooked and neglected to talk about the fact that there were actually March Madness games
were there
going on at Climate Pledge Arena. So
I'm sorry. It doesn't help you now, but at least I wanted to make the correction, and I thought it was a funny way how I found out. I'm like, $300 to watch the game? The NCAA tournament continues on Thursday with the men in the Sweet 16 and the women on Friday.
Now, the good news about you're saying $300 for tickets to go see that thing, and yes, it has passed, but the Downtown Seattle Association is saying they're estimating the city of Seattle will get a $13.6 million boost, a big economic boost for March Madness.
That's pretty awesome.
Just for the one weekend there.
For that big watch party.
Yeah, we blew it. Also Thursday, hey, guess what? A different sport, baseball.
It's opening day. The Mariners play at home versus the Athletics at 7:10. I'm excited about that.
And
what?
Onward.
Oh, okay.
That's right. Over the weekend, people were excited about this Snow White live-action remake. Of course, Snow White, the classic Disney movie. And it opened to, here's the thing, as soon as I saw this, and this is how accustomed we've become to these massive openings for Disney movies, you know, it's like, oh, the Disney movie opened to $250 bajillion. Well, Snow White, the live action remake, made $43 million domestically, which was a first place finish for the weekend.
I feel like that's a pretty high, like for lately at box offices, like each weekend, I think that's pretty good.
It might be, but for a Disney movie.
Yeah.
That was lower than even those modest of expectations that they had expected. Apparently, it got bad reviews, so audience scores, underwhelming reviews, and people took that to heart. So they did not rush out to see a Disney movie the first weekend it was out.
Can I just say also that there's, Paddington in Peru is also out.
Oh, that was.
Not. That opened like, I don't know, a handful of weeks ago, but it's still out. So parents are, if they're going to go to a movie with their kids, they have 2 to choose from, not just this one.
Right. And so
that affects things too.
There was another movie that opened this weekend, The Alto Nights, which was the one that had Robert De Niro in 2 roles. That one bombed. That made $3.2 million.
That makes Snow White look real good.
It's true. It made $3.2 million domestically, $5.1 million globally. This is Alto Nights, and it only cost $45 million to make.
They better do some other marketing to get more people in some seats.
They better do something.
That's what I'd say.
All right,
adventures this weekend. I had such a good weekend. I like it when there's like a really good, solid weekend. Want me to just tell you what I did?
Mine was boring. All I did was sell some stuff on Marketplace on Facebook.
But you sold some stuff to get some U.S. dollars.
Yes, that's what it's come to. I'm selling stuff to make U.S. dollars.
Oh,
They were stuff. It was
wow.
stuff that's needed to go for a while. So it was finally the push that made me sell the stuff.
I have not sold my Party Pilot yet, by the way.
Oh yeah.
Okay. I remember I told you I was going to go to that well-known pizza place in Edmonds that everyone's been raving about.
The one that has
pizza and cocktails.
They put Peacock on the pizza.
No, they do not. It's by the guy Niall Peacock owns it in downtown Edmonds, kind of by the ferry. So delicious, delicious cocktails, delicious pizza. Except for when we got the bill.
That was a surprise.
That was a big surprise. That was a big surprise, Curt Cruz. I had Pat check it twice, and then at night, like we were laying in bed at night, and I knew he had his receipt because he keeps all the receipts. I'm like, can you double check that bill? It just cannot be right.
And
it's so expensive.
So what did you have, alcohol?
We did. That's the thing.
What was do you mind if I ask what the total was? And how many? So this is for 4 people, right?
This is 4 people, and we split the bill evenly because we all had about the same amount of cocktails, which was 2. 2 each. About.
What was the total bill?
All together, I have to do some adding, like 200 and with tip $280
for pizza.
For pizza and cocktails.
Yeah.
But the pizza that's the thing, is like, would we come back?
Mm-hmm.
Probably, because the pizza was so freaking good. We just will pre-funk.
Right.
At home or something.
Alcohol.
I don't know. Or
that's
post.
what does it. I'm sure the pizza prices were
no. The pizza prices were pretty high.
Okay.
I'm not gonna lie. I mean, it was like $35 for a Detroit style one. I think
that was we like to go to Elliott Bay Pizza, and the same thing. It's like, let's get a medium pizza and a side order of whatever. And it's like, okay, there's $55. Like, wow. It's inflation.
Yeah.
What's the story about the wine
good.
tasting?
Oh, so then yesterday we got to go. Pat and I took out Michael, his middle son, Riley, my oldest daughter. They are always so busy with college schedules and work schedules that we just wanted to celebrate their spring break. And we went wine tasting at Lance Cellars for the first time for Riley ever.
She's just tasting. Now 21. Yeah.
Yep. Lunch at the Trainwreck in Burlington. Have you ever been there?
No.
It's an institution there. It's delicious. Okay. Escape games at Entangled in Marysville. Super fun.
Then you went to the casino?
Out. Then we went to the casino and played slots at Tulalip. And then we went to get ice cream at Cold Stone. It was like the perfect day with our kids that we don't get to spend time with.
That's a lot of stuff.
It is?
Is that 5 things? Wine tasting, then lunch at a different place, then escape games at a different place, then slots and gambling at Tulalip, and then ice cream at Cold Stone. That to me is like, people are like, that's like a whole weekend right there.
Can I just tell you that Michael and Riley were freaked out about playing slots? They were like, they're tight on their money. They like save. They don't waste money at all because they're college students, right? They are freaking out. They could barely handle the stress of losing money.
Well, then don't lose.
That's what I said. Okay, anyway.
Here we go.
On a different
Had a
note.
busy day? My lean, mean, fat-reducing grilling machine is great to come home to. It lets you prepare hot, delicious meals in just minutes.
Hot, delicious meal. Well, that is
Foreman.
The George Foreman grill commercial from 1987. He passed away. Now, I would imagine, I shouldn't even say young people, a lot of people are like, oh, George Foreman, the grill guy. It's like, well, he was a boxing legend prior to that.
Yeah, he was 76 years old. There's no word on the cause of death.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, he was known for the George Foreman grill.
People
I had one. Did you?
Yeah, I think I still do. I think it's stowed away somewhere.
Yeah.
2-time world champion boxer, Olympic gold medalist as well. And then he was that's the comeback. 1987, the George Foreman grill. Did you remember that all of his kids are named George? Did you know that? Mm-mm. He was married 5 times. He has 12 children, 5 sons. Every one of them is named George.
And then he has 7 daughters, and one of the girls' name is Georgetta.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Is that a good name?
Georgie? Sure.
Because my mom was Georgette.
Yeah.
You knew that?
I don't
Not
think
Georgetta. Mike Tyson tweeted about Foreman passing away. Contribution to boxing and beyond will never be forgotten. That's the deal with George Foreman. He will be missed. So, yes, 76. 76?
It's a shame. It's
young.
Oh, my gosh.
What?
Well, I love a Broadway musical or a Broadway show.
That's true. Sorry, that's Nat.
I know, I saw that. So, ticket prices for Broadway shows are already very high.
Right.
Well, now all the Hollywood people are going to be in the shows, and that's making tickets skyrocket in price.
The price is going up. Now, see, here's the deal. There was a couple of big openings. Last night, Othello opened on Broadway.
Shakespeare play.
Yeah, Othello.
Well, just in case people don't know.
Okay, the Shakespeare play, Othello. Not to be mistaken with the game, Othello, where you flip the...
Yeah, there you go.
Denzel Washington and Jake Gyllenhaal are in Othello on stage.
That is mega. That's two mega actors.
And it opened with some the reviews are pretty good. It also had some of the best seats going for prepare for this. And I don't know if this is like outlandish for a Broadway show.
It seems to me it is.
$921 per seat for the best seats to go see Othello.
Per the New York Times. So this isn't like fake news.
Apparently, this production of Othello has already set weekly records for the highest grossing non-musical play in Broadway history.
Well, at $921 a pop, it better be.
They sold 200 tickets, and it was the biggest one ever. I don't know.
And if you don't like Shakespeare, you could always take out a mortgage for Good Night and Good Luck featuring George Clooney. That average price is $303.
I disagree.
That was last week.
I disagree about that one. I would say take it out of your kid's college fund, not a mortgage.
Okay.
All right.
Good.
Glenn Ross.
Oh, I didn't know some of these actors, but you're like, yes, Jen, these
Bill
are
Burr,
big.
the comedian, Kieran Culkin. Will he always be Macaulay Culkin's brother?
Yes.
Because he's had a much more, I would say he's had a much more successful
For
career.
sure.
Also, Bob Odenkirk are all in Glenn Ross. Those are the cheap tickets where the average ticket price is just $207.
Kieran Culkin just won an Academy Award, I think. Didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
People know Macaulay Culkin for this. That's what he'll always be, that kid from Home Alone. So if you are planning to head to New York and check out a Broadway play, you might want to bring
some extra U.S. dollars.
Extra U.S. dollars for that. Yes.
Lots of them.
Egg hack. People are excited now.
Keeping eggs fresh for 2 years, or it will kill you. One of the two.
Why would you want to have eggs for 2 years?
I don't know. A money-saving hack from the Depression is going viral because it can keep eggs fresh up to 2 years, or it could kill you, they're saying.
Keep this in mind. The Depression from the 20s and 30s, this is when this hack came about.
I'm just reporting what I read on social media.
They're saying that this, so what it's called is water glassing eggs. That's when you store them in a jar filled with a special solution, which will allow them to last for up to 2 years.
But if you do it wrong, you could end up with salmonella bombs.
Do you want salmonella bombs?
No. It only works with farm fresh eggs, too, that have not been washed. Supermarket eggs don't have their natural protective coating.
This sounds very risky to me.
I don't think we should. You know what? Forget it. We didn't mention this. Erase.
Why would you still? I mean, I understand the egg prices are high. So what you got to do is you got to know when egg prices are low and then buy a bunch of them and then save them for 2 years.
Curt, I don't know. But I'm going to tell you something. I was over at my mom's house.
Okay.
And she is like, I don't even know what exactly that they're doing. I think she's mixing them up, like cracking them and scrambling them, and then putting them in like special ice cube trays and freezing it so that she can use them later because she's so afraid that egg prices are going to keep going up and up and she's not going to be able to afford them because she's retired now and she just gets her Social Security and stuff. So
you have your ice cube egg and you just take one out and pop it in the microwave and then you have your egg.
I mean, I guess that's what it is. The problem is you can't have your fried egg because it's already cracked.
That's true.
Right?
What is the world coming to?
I don't know.
Eggs. We have another egg story.
Well, because with the price of eggs, we want to know what the White House is going to do about their annual Easter egg roll.
Yeah, it's too expensive. They can't do it.
Well, no, they're getting creative, and I really like it. This is like radio stuff.
CNN is reporting next month's White House Easter egg roll, which you've heard of. Obviously, every year, around Easter, they do the Easter egg roll with the kids.
It's been a tradition since 1878.
The new thing is... Surprise, surprise, look who's the president. And now corporate branding is going to be allowed for the Easter egg roll.
Listen, if eggs are that expensive, you got to find NTR, non-traditional revenue. Now, let's sponsor the Easter egg hunt.
They've had sponsors before, but it was like the American Egg Board, right? So they donate the eggs. So American Egg Board gets a little mention here and there. But now, the first time you'll be able to pay to have your logo prominently displayed at the White House Easter egg roll for the low price of $75,000 to $200,000. I guess the White House sent out a 9-page document offering different branding opportunities.
You know what? Here's what it's saying. It's not using taxpayer dollars. They're getting creative to do these events.
You pay things for like naming rights for key areas or elements. You can have logos featured on event signage, custom branded Easter baskets. Maybe I should take my company and put
this is a page from radio station event playbook.
And here's what I wonder.
Tell me.
All the money will go to the White House Historical Association nonprofit that works to educate people on the history of the White House. They also pay for the official presidential podcasts.
Portraits.
I'm sorry, I said podcast. Didn't I? Portrait,
You
yeah,
did.
presidential portraits. The president used to have a nonprofit.
What was it?
Well, the Trump Foundation, but there were some sketchy things going on there.
Oh, geez, here we go.
So is this $75,000 and $200,000 going to go to this White House Historical Association? How much is going to end up in people's pockets?
Well, the Doge will
The Doge.
will they'll find it. if
The
it's
Doge
bad.
abides. All right. This I thought was a simple and obvious question. Do you swear when you stub your toe? Because apparently,
Yes, I do.
that's right. There's some research done. I sometimes I wonder about these studies. Like, I've got an idea, scientists and researchers. Let's find out if people swear when they hurt themselves. All right. So here's what it found out: 3/4 of Americans swear when they stub their toe. Or you all right?
Yes, I'm fine.
3/4 of Americans swear when they stub their toe or experience abrupt physical pain. All right.
Okay.
So there you go. That's the 75. That's almost everybody. 3 in 4 people. Another 14% said they rarely swear when they injure themselves, and only 8% said they never swear. Who, after you, I mean, you know what it is for me usually? It's like I crack my knee on something. Like I take a corner too short.
That is seriously the
Yeah.
worst.
Studies have found, though, that swearing can help with pain tolerance. So maybe you're actually doing yourself a benefit. You're not
I mean, I know I'm doing myself a benefit. Everything feels better if it's gone wrong and I'm swearing.
1 in 6 people say swearing in public is never acceptable, even if you're in pain.
I don't want to be friends with those people.
I was going to say, I think that those people are mistaken
I was going to say that there's some alternatives
to swearing.
that I thought were creative, like, Funko Pop. That's a local
Yes.
reference.
Well, you use bologna slices instead of BS.
Well, only on the podcast. I'll say the real thing if we're not podcasting.
Of course you will.
Mother Trucker Carlson. Mm-hmm. Mount St. Mary's. Sizzling Cybertrucks.
I think you have to have those already in your head. What's another one? One more.
Bachman Turner Overdrive.
Do you remember the scene from, was it the 40-year-old Virgin when he was getting the waxing? He's
Yes.
like, Kelly Clarkson.
There's also Shabuzi. Shabuzi.
But you'd have to have those ready to go because when you swear, when you hurt yourself, that's just like a reflex right away.
For sure.
Yeah. So
These alternatives are not going to happen for me.
that's not going to happen for Jen. All right, here we go.
Just don't understand.
Parents just don't understand. Thank you, Fresh Prince.
Of Bel Air.
This was our question from Friday. Wanted you to chime in on this. There are parenting ideas, parenting things that you do, right? And some of them are not so popular. I know there's
What's
a
with
net.
all the insects happening in the house?
Well, it's one insect. He just won't go away.
Oh, okay.
Or she.
Real bugger.
Probably a she. Unpopular parenting takes that actually work. So these might
Okay.
not be popular with people, but they actually work. We asked you for that. Let's get going here. Melissa said, when the kids were little, there was no such thing as a picky eater. That was not an option. With 4 kids, they ate what was made or they didn't eat, and yet no one starved. And then Corey also said, Melissa, we did the same thing.
That's a good one.
Yeah, and then
Eat what's
Corey-
on your plate or don't eat it all.
Corey goes on to say, we had a corner we had to stand in when we did something wrong. And additionally, sick days from school were exactly that. There was no gaming, playing with toys. You stayed in bed.
We also didn't get to do anything after school either. If you're too sick to go to school, you're too sick to go to the extracurricular activities after.
Oh, I feel better now. I want to go
Yeah,
play baseball. Okay.
yeah.
How about Bridget? She said kids need to do chores. It's a duty and an obligation.
I like it, Bridget. Mm-hmm. Phil, I'll buy you a car, but it won't be new. Not even close. You want new? Then buy new.
There you go, kid. Buy you a car.
I think that they're lucky just to even have a car. I mean, some parents would say, if you want a car, you got to earn it because that's.
Was your first car given to you, or did you buy it?
My grandparents gave me their car to use, but I had to. I'm pretty sure I had to pay for my own insurance and gas.
And what car was it?
Like this Datsun B210 or something
Right.
crazy. And it was old. It was right. It was not new by any means.
The rich kids were getting Mustangs and stuff, and here I am.
Brand new one.
In my Chevy Chevette.
That's what you had?
Yeah. Do you remember those cars?
Yes.
Kim says every birthday, this is a parenting take that may be unpopular. Every birthday, you get a new, a new privilege and a new responsibility with each birthday.
Oh, one of each. Okay, that's nice. Mm-hmm. Dennis said kids need to be told no.
True.
Agreed.
And we have Violet check in, and she said, allow your kids to be bored sometimes.
Yep.
They'll figure it out.
Anne Marie said, my kids don't have cell phones yet. Wasn't sure we'd make it to high school, but logic and watching the flailing mental health of their phone-carrying peers has prevailed with almost zero pushback. Anne Marie, God bless you. I wish I would have done the same.
So did the kids make it to high school or no?
Yeah, I think so.
So they're in high school now, they can have the phone. Heather says, know that you can't always keep your kids happy. Even as adults, doing things you need to but don't want to do builds character and responsibility and stuff like that.
I like it.
All right, one more.
Eric says, I do not get a say. My grandkids hopefully won't get a cell until high school.
Air tags now. What does that
Air
mean?
tags to follow them?
That's what I was wondering.
Put an air tag like in their backpack or something? I think. I don't know. I don't know for sure.
Is that something that parents do? Maybe that's the thing that they're saying is not, like it says they're unpopular.
Parenting hack.
Air tags for your kids. All right. Thank you for participating. We appreciate it.
I thought this was very fascinating.
Earth's population might be way higher than we thought.
Yeah. No. Okay. So if knowing there are 8.2 billion people in the world makes you feel like an insignificant ant, this is not going to help. A new study said there might be way more people on Earth than we thought. According to the UN, we officially crossed the 8 billion mark in November of 2022.
Okay.
But researchers in Finland think that estimate is way off, and the system used to track is flawed. Well,
they looked at
big
data
surprise.
From 35 countries, and they think the number of people living in rural communities is undercounted. That makes sense. Maybe they're not all that excited to get with the census and say, there's 5 of us here.
There's villages everywhere in the world that aren't going to get the census.
They didn't give a number or say what they think the global population really is. And again, they came up with the 8.2 billion number back in 2022 as far as people go. They think the populations in those areas might be undercounted by 53 to 84%.
I mean,
in the rural
you
areas.
Talk about significant.
Mm-hmm. Well, think about rural Australia and the Aboriginal people. I mean,
I know, like all the people, all these
all over the place.
Yes, like I said, the villages that are hard to even get to.
So logically, and as far as the numbers go, they're saying that maybe their study was flawed. If they're right, it could mean there are billions more people on Earth than we thought. And here's a word for those billions of people. I'm kidding. I don't have anything.
Oh, I thought you were going to have something real good.
No, I don't. What am I going to say? There's too many people already. Let's not have billions more. Too late?
No, I think that there's a thing that they think that the population is going down, though. There was isn't there that a thing? Like people aren't procreating as much as they used to? Lots of people are choosing not to have kids.
I haven't heard that. Maybe in America.
Maybe.
Yeah, okay. Elton John, you heard of this guy? Elton John?
I think I've heard of him once or twice. I actually had the chance to meet him ever so briefly. That's pretty cool.
Was it even words exchanged, or was it just like, hi, how you doing?
Hi, how you doing?
Oh,
quick picture, quick handshake.
That would be difficult for me with anybody of that big, not to say,
dude,
thank you for everything every day of your life.
It was quick. It was a quick little meet and greet.
And this is advice that I followed when I was young. Unbeknownst to me at the time. Elton John has advice for up-and-coming musicians, and what he's saying is, you know what? Skip the reality shows, skip the American Idols, get out there and play. Yes, the first band I was in needed a drummer. And so I said I was a drummer.
Were you not? Really? You lied?
I went out and bought a drum kit and taught myself over the weekend. And
that's some badassery, Curt Cruz.
That's where it goes. Yeah, I'm a drummer, sure. So he's saying the talent competitions like American Idol, X Factor, that's not the way to do it. Get out there and start gigging. That's where you learn. You're going to get booed. You're going to have food thrown at you.
Sometimes you're not going to have anyone in the audience.
Exactly. The worst thing he says, Elton John, here's a quote. The worst thing that can happen to you in the industry are things like X Factor and American Idol, that instant fame on television where you have no experience of playing live. So I guess if you just want to make a quick, splash, what do they say?
Quick splash?
No, I can't think of the word I'm trying to say.
Okay.
Anyway, he says, go out there, get on stage, you go, maybe you can't do it. That's the worst thing that can happen is if you get this instant fame. So go out there, play in a pub, every weekend for years, and maybe you can get to be.
That's how he did it.
Yeah, of course there wasn't the option of American Idol and stuff like that.
Play the gigs, do the reps, as Mel Robbins would say.
Do the reps.
Do the reps.
That's the way to put it.
Little weight loss hack for you.
I love this because
you ready for this one?
I'm prepared to lose weight loss even if it involves hacking.
Okay, well, here's your hack.
All right.
There's this nutritionist named Nicolette Pace, or maybe it's Pache. I don't know.
I think it's Pace.
Is going viral for this diet advice. Eat like a baby. That's her hack. Eat like a baby. And she doesn't mean eat baby food or drink formula. Although I will say I do eat baby food and it is delicious. I like that.
What baby food do you eat? Because the baby food that I used to eat,
applesauce.
they used to have a blueberry concoction. It was delicious.
Oh, I don't do that one. I don't know if they still have the applesauce and pear one. I really liked that one. Anyway, that's not what this involves.
How do babies eat?
Like eat every 2 to 4 hours. And they need to be smaller meals. You can't just eat whatever you want. Normal, healthy eating rules still apply. Go heavy on fruits, veggies, whole grains, and in general, she's saying avoid meat.
Okay.
Now, that doesn't jive with all the stuff that's been being thrown in my face as a perimenopausal woman that says you need to get your protein in.
So that's more like the caveman diet, right?
I don't know. You just need to get a lot of protein. Like you need to get like 30 to 40 grams of protein a meal. So that's not going to do it.
More about this weight loss hack. They say take your time. Eating slowly gives your brain time to register the fact that you're feeling full. So go slow. Chew every bite. Babies usually feed for 15 to 30 minutes. Is that right?
Yeah.
But that's because isn't part of that because it's hard to get them to eat sometimes?
Yeah, I mean, it's just, it's a process.
So, here's what you do. You're feeding yourself, but sometimes push the spoon away. Like you go, yeah. Whip your head around and close your mouth.
This would be hard for me. I'm a fast eater.
Yeah. That's true.
Because I don't want my food to get cold. I'm just.
Well, you kind of do everything fast.
I big back that. Big back it.
The third thing here, eat like a baby, avoid mindless munching. That's also difficult. Babies don't do it because they can't. So for adults, it takes something called, I've heard of this, willpower?
I'm not familiar.
All right. So pay closer attention to why you're eating. Are you actually hungry or just bored? That's me. It's like, okay, well, guess I'll have some chips.
There you go. Well, there's your hack.
Plop down in front of the TV and chips.
Eat like a baby, and babies don't eat chips. They'll choke on them if they eat them. So.
Yeah. Just so you know, we're not encouraging you to feed your baby chips. Or crisps, as they call them in England.
We've come to the question of the day that we will revisit on Wednesday, by the way.
Yes, we're down to 3 days a week for the show.
Yeah, 3 days a week. Curt and Jen every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And if you follow us or subscribe, you'll get those notices that we have a new episode.
Right. And we did the 3 days a week thing so you'd have more time to come up with answers for the question of the day.
That's right. That's why we did this.
You have a full extra 24 hours. That's why.
The only reason.
Go.
What is your significant other significantly better at than you?
Do you have anything top of mind?
Fixing anything.
Well, your significant other is better than everybody at fixing anything.
Project Pat.
I don't know. Dana's better than a lot of things than I am.
I mean, yeah, there's a lot of things that Pat is better at than I am, but that significantly better at fixing things.
Okay.
What about for Dana? What's Dana better at than you?
I'd say she's significantly better than me with my ADD at staying focused and getting something done.
Okay.
I'm totally like, I'm going to do something shiny.
I want to will you get Dana's answer for you and I'll get Pat's answer for me for Wednesdays?
What they think that we're better than?
Yes.
Dana's going to say, well, nothing.
No, playing music, I bet.
Well, there is that. But she doesn't do that at all.
So then she's significantly, you're significantly better than her.
Let us know what your significant other is significantly better at than you.
I like this question.
That's a good one.
Yeah,
that was a good one.
All right, well, we're going to be back on Wednesday with a whole new episode. We hope that you'll join us. We love being part of your world and connecting with you.
Thank you.
Make good choices, find joy, spread kindness, and
laugh.
Good for the soul. Good for the soul. Have a good one.
Thank you.